Milk does a lot of good. Hey, nobody ever sends me any stars. Well, good morning. Today is the fourth day of August, 20. It is a day that has never been, and today will never, ever come again. It is a once in a lifetime deal. And once it's done, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't come in it comes back. You don't get to come back and do all the things you should have done this day that you don't. And you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be glad that you were here. Good morning to you. Benjamin Realizer May said, whatever you do in life, you should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say that it's the standard of how you live your life will always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two, we all do. But you'll never be a failure. Never. Until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never quit. You never, ever quit. Because quitters never win. And winners, they never quit. Oh yeah, feeling good, feeling good, feeling good. Every day above ground, it's a great day. Good morning, I'm Kevin Elkins. Next up, of course, it's our daily bread. And then we will get to other things. Interesting comments that the senator had yesterday in the meeting that he had. I guess it was I don't know what kind of meeting that was. I never go to them. I've been hearing the same stuff every year for 30 years. So nothing really changes. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Okay, I hear you. I know you're gonna do it. Yeah. At least at the moment when you're saying it, you really mean it. Then 20 minutes after that, Senator, you know you can't do that, right? You know you can. You know you. Okay, that's good. So maybe they'll do like they always do and forget you said it. Okay. Except now we got the internet and YouTube. Okay then. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Our daily bread's next, and then of course we will. I need to put on my glasses so I can see. And then we will get to other things, other comments. And you know what day it is, right? You know what day it is. Okay, it's City Council Day today. Mm-hmm. We'll see how they work that out. We'll see. Will the mayor get that thing passed? We'll see. So hold on. We'll be right back. Oh yeah.
Welcome to today's encouragement from our daily bread. Today's reading, titled God's Protection, was written by Monica LaRose. Needles, milk, mushrooms, elevators, births, bees, and bees in blenders. These are just a fraction of the many phobias attributed to Mr. Adrian Monk, detective and title character of the TV show Monk. But when he and longtime rival Harold Crenshaw find themselves locked in a car trunk, Monk has a breakthrough that allows him to cross off at least one fear from his list: claustrophobia. It's while Monk and Harold are both panicking that the epiphany comes, abruptly interrupting Monk's angst. "I think we've been looking at this the wrong way," he tells Harold. "This trunk, these walls, they're not closing in on us. They're protecting us, really. They're keeping the bad stuff out, germs and snakes and harmonicas." Eyes widening, Harold sees what he means and whispers in wonder, "This trunk is our friend." In Psalm 63, it's almost as if David has a similar epiphany. Despite being in a dry and parched land, when David remembers God's power, glory, and love, it's as if the desert transforms into a place of God's care and protection. Like a baby bird hiding in the shelter of a mother's wings, David finds that when he clings to God, even in that barren place, he can feast, as with the richest of foods, finding nourishment and strength in a love that is better than life. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is Psalm 63. You, God, are my God. Earnestly I seek you. I thirst for you. My whole being longs for you in a dry and parched land where there is no water. I have seen you in the sanctuary and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. I will be fully satisfied as with the richest of foods. With singing lips, my mouth will praise you. On my bed, I remember you. I think of you through the watches of the night. Because you are my help, I sing in the shadow of your wings. I cling to you. Your right hand upholds me. Those who want to kill me will be destroyed. They will go down to the depths of the earth. They will be given over to the sword and become food for jackals. But the king will rejoice in God. All who swear by God will glory in him, while the mouths of liars will be silenced. Let's pray. Loving Creator, Sustainer, and Nourisher, thank you for the miraculous way your love seeps into our heart, even in the most difficult places, transforming them into the shelter of your wings. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's
Good morning, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm going this weekend. I gotta put the spotlight on my granddaughter and then singing this song. Oh, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, oh! It's me and my son can talk now. He knows some army talk. Somebody's got to be in the Marine Corps. Might as well be them. Okay, don't do it anymore. We good. We got this. All right. Good morning. Well, a few things to talk about this morning. A lot of activity going on in Montgomery yesterday. Tuberville was here, um, and again blasting the mayor a little bit. Um, you know, Running for office, it does give you a perspective that you did not have before. Um, all the things you think you can do or you think that are within your purview, you really, it's a lot more to this story than what we see. And what we see from the mayor's office, even the president's office, the governor's office. Some of these positions are merely um, what's the right word? Uh, 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 what's the right word? Well, I'll put it to this way. Let me put it in simpler terminology. Some of these jobs got a bigger title than they do the ability to perform certain actions. I'll put it to you that way. Yesterday, I saw the mayor up there and Mr. Singleton up there, and Tuberville just skewering Montgomery. Um, here is a question that I have. It's really easy. Oh, and another thing too. Also, before I forget it, because I forgot it yesterday. I think what Alabama State did, well, putting Joe Reed's name back on that stadium, was the right thing to do. It's my understanding that if Joe Reed didn't go to Washington D.C. and get and try to and beg for the money, and get the money to do that, it never would have come to fruition. So absolutely, it was an injustice done, and now, although he do have to put the other guy's name underneath it, okay, but it was a wrong that was righted. Okay, so I'm glad to see that Mr. Reed, Joe Reed's name on top of that Acadome again, because had it not been for him, it would not have happened. At least when I got here, that's what they told me, and I believe them. Okay, now getting back to other things, Montgomery is it's a unique place. It is a place that is on the precipice of greatness, and at the same time, we are dogged by the past. We can't seem to get our own feet out of our own way sometimes to move forward. It's like an albatross around the neck of Montgomery of the past. There's some people in this city that don't want to let it go. It was what it was. What happened happened. We're not going to undo the past. We can try all we want to, but it's like going in front of a judge with a traffic ticket and you didn't already had 12. No matter what you think about it, they there. There's nothing you can do about it. The ticket, you got them. They're your tickets. It is part of your past. Now, I hope the judge don't look at them too toughly, but what is the problem with Montgomery? What is the problem? Why does it seem that and I don't know if bringing the stallions to Montgomery is going to in any way enhance the aroma, as it were, of Montgomery. Now, me personally, I like it here. I came from Honolulu. And I'm telling you that Montgomery is a better place to live in than Honolulu, Hawaii. I lived on the oceans of Waikiki, and Mauna Loa, and Makaha, and Ever Beach, and Nanakuli, so places like that in Hawaii. I live, and I rather live here 10 times more than I rather live over in Hawaii. There is a there is a there's a warmth. There's a warmth of the people who live, not the people who came here want to stir up trouble, but there's a warmth of people who lived here who went through the tough times of Montgomery, the times of the former governor who stood in the door of University of Alabama. You know what he said. Um, there is unique. I mean, we either can become great, or we can diminish on the vine, be diminished. I'd rather have the first one. But what is Montgomery? And one of the things, if I had to advise the mayor on what we should do, if I was the mayor's chief of staff, in order to change the perception, maybe not a reality, but to change the perception of Montgomery, I would give the mayor certain things. No, 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 no. I'm telling you, you talk to a man who lived 5 years over there, 4.5 years over there. I've been here, and I left. I've been here since '91 for 35 years. So yeah, Montgomery's a lot better than living in Honolulu. Okay. Yeah, yes, it is. I'm just telling you. The only thing Honolulu has to offer is perfect weather, and I got tired of that. I want to see some cold weather. I wanted to see some warm weather, some hot weather. I didn't get it. I got perfect weather every day. Bored me to tears. Okay, I'm just telling. So no, Montgomery is a better place to live. We got the 4 seasons and all that good stuff. So I like it here. But let me get back to the mayor. Are they going to hope hole and play? Okay, well, whatever the case. But that's not our issue. Whether or not we get the Stallions or anybody else here, that's not the issue. So this morning, let us, if you were the mayor's, whoever mayor it is, who if you had to advise the mayor on how to change the perception of Montgomery, how to get people to motivate. I did this on my own a couple of days ago, just to see whether or not I had any oomph. I called a big business, a great big business outside of Montgomery, and see whether or not I talked to one of their marketing people or something like that, and I wanted to, can't tell you who it is yet because but hoping that I would get on the city council. So I called and see what would it take to bring that big old business, bring that business to Montgomery, Alabama. And you'll be surprised at some of the things that people think about Montgomery that's not true. And so we had to talk, and we're gonna talk again. As a matter of fact, even Green had talked to some of these people before, and then people didn't want to put him back in office because he was a Republican. So they gave up an opportunity for a business for more capital to be displaced in Montgomery because the man said he was Republican. and what has happened since then? So I put my hat in the ring. And I called a couple businesses. One big one. I'm not going to name it because if we don't come through, I look like an idiot. But how would you advise the mayor of the city of Montgomery to go forth to change the perception of Montgomery? Because some of the things that Tuberville said yesterday, hard for the ears. But it is what it is. Now, personally, I think he's a little too hard on the mayor. But then the mayor turned around and was hard on one of our city. I'm gonna give you that video in here in a second. The mayor turned around in his speech and was hard on. He called one of our city councilmen a liar, and really. But we'll get to that in a little bit here. But so how do we how do we change the perception of Montgomery? Again, I came from Honolulu and I decided all these years just to stay here because I like it. We got the seasons. Crime when I got here wasn't aware. Well, yeah, it was too. Crime was beginning to etch up when I got here in '91. It was beginning to etch up. The first day I moved in my new rental house, they broke into my car. But again, I know that happens everywhere. That happens everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Okay, Hawaii got ghettos. Okay, it's got ghettos and it got crooks. Okay, it got people who break in cars. They got the same thing over there that they got over here. Okay, it's the same thing. There's a city called Pearl City, and so all of these cities, anytime you find a collection of human beings, you are going to have human being problems. But what I know what I would tell the mayor if I, in fact, was an advisor to the mayor. One of the things I would tell him, in secret, of course. And I think Tuberville, before we get any further in this, the difference between leadership and being somebody's boss. Tuberville, and I like Tuberville because if he's on the mayor, I'm gonna vote for Tuberville. I am, but that don't mean I like everything about him. But he's somewhat trying to act like Trump. And listen, Trump is Trump. That's who he is. But I do believe that in the military we have a thing: you criticize, you correct in private, and you praise in public. I think people don't understand that. First of all, if you wanted to get the mayor's attention or anybody else's attention, the governor's attention, whatever the case may be, I don't think you skewer them in front of everybody since he didn't do it. I mean, he didn't create all this crime. He didn't create it. I mean, since I've been here all these years, I don't know one Reed that's been put in jail for shooting anybody or robbing anybody or stealing anything from anybody. So to blame him, it's kind of intellectually disingenuous. Plus, he's a Democrat, so I'm sticking up for him on this one. But what would you tell him? Okay, what would you tell the mayor? It's easy for us to sit in the background, okay, to complain and to say this and say that. What would you tell the mayor to change the perspective of Montgomery? I know what I would tell him. I know what I would tell him. But what would you tell him? What he may listen. He's not perfect, like none of us are. But he is the mayor, and here's the thing about it: and trying to run for one little bitty seat in Montgomery, it's tough. You got no one who says anything good. All they ever think about is all the bad things and all the mistakes you made in life and all the things that you did wrong and what you planned. And even though when you get up there, you find out, can't do that plan because this is what they didn't tell. So to be mayor of any city, even Gillespie is catching hell right now in Prattville. Okay, I talked to some folks over there last night. So no matter who gets the job, no matter who the job, you're going to be talked about. Kind of reminds me of the three guys in the boat trying to get across the pond and see Jesus walking on the water. And rather than understand the miracle that they were looking at, they started complaining that Jesus didn't get in the boat with them. Okay, so we are going to complain no matter what. And the decorum, It has. But let me be clear on the decorum part. We went to the other way so far to the left until we had to immediately get back to the middle. And what do I mean? We were walking around for years, and we still got people. We have doctors, medical doctors in front of Congress that will not tell you what a woman is. So what we did was we went crazy the other way, and now we're trying to bring, and now we're going crazy coming back this way. Okay, I mean, when you have people who you're supposed to put your life in their hands and give them a scalpel to cut you open, not be able to tell you verbally what a woman is because of political correctness. And I knew sooner or later the issue of political correctness was going to turn our quality of life and our system wrong. Good morning, Rachel. And it would turn our country around, and it has done that. It has done it. When you get doctors who will not say the difference between a male and a female, really, God bless Sept. Really, okay. I'm sorry. You want to be in the army? I'm sorry. You can't wear a dress. Okay, not as long as you got your buddy down there and his two friends. I'm sorry. That makes you a male, and you will be a male even if your head is crazy and you're not. Okay, you. I'm sorry. You can't do it. Okay. So we went so far the other way until now we think we're gonna jumpstart the middle. So we lost, and again, we got more. We call ourselves a Christian nation. We've never been one, but I would say that the preponderance of people who believe in God are Christians in America for the time being, until we start letting everybody else here who don't believe like we believe. And I think that's part of the problem too. We've let people in here who don't believe what we believe, okay, what most of us believe anyway. But getting back to Tuberville, I like Tuberville. I like a man who stands on his own 2 feet, calls it as he sees it, but that don't make him right all the time. Yesterday, Senator Tuberville, I believe, was somewhat wrong in error of his presentation of what he thought the problems are. We got problems like any other city. Birmingham got them, Prattville got them, Wetumpka have them, Atlanta certainly got them, Birmingham got. So we got a problem like everybody else, you know. Um, but I think he would have did a lot better by having a meeting with the mayor, a private meeting with the mayor, and disseminating his concerns as opposed to coming out public. I mean, 'cause let's just face it, no matter how big a senator he is, or any senator is, they don't run Montgomery. Our mayor, whoever that person is the person that runs Montgomery. Okay, it is not the mayor. I mean, it's not the senators or the congressmen. I mean, we let them come in town, let them speak a little bit to get some votes in order. But other than that, they don't do jack. You know, they get a whole bunch of free money for talking, which is all they get. They get a bunch of free money for talking in the halls of Congress. Yeah. Oh yeah, and plus I was wrong last night on the internet. Uh, Tuberville said our government was the three. Wait, he said the three. And listen, for a minute I was with him. The three branches of government is House, Senate, and the House, the Senate, and he put something else. Anyway, he was totally wrong, and I was too. Because I said, wait a minute, that's three branches, isn't it? He said, no, 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 no. Because I forgot it's executive branch, which is the presidency. That's the executive branch. He's in charge of the executive branch. Then there is the judicial, which is the Supreme Court, and then there is the legislative, which is the House and Senate. Okay. And if for some reason he had me all screwed up in the head, so he got that one wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. But what would you tell the mayor that he could do, something he can do to change the perspective of what Montgomery looks like? Now, I'm going to tell you one of the attributes that Emory Farmer had that I absolutely adored, even though he didn't adore me sometimes. But then again, he was a paratrooper like me, okay? And whether we disliked each other or not, we had a common bond. And that bond is paratroopers are special people. They are people who don't play. And we are people that don't, you know what? If we call it, if we see it, we call it. But the one thing Emory did, there was no doubt, none whatsoever, that he supported his police department, right, wrong, or indifferent. And if he did, and if they were wrong, he didn't do it in public. Okay, he didn't, because as a military man, he knew you don't do it in public. But he in this crime thing, he put an attitude out there that we will not accept it. We can't stop crime. We can't stop crime. But he had the attitude. He had the persona that we will put a foot in your butt, okay, and beat you with a phone book. Beat you with a phone book if we had to, okay. I'm just saying. So that's one of the things that I think Stephen could be a little bit more tenacious in his presentation about crime. Don't try to make us think that it's all okay. And listen, crime is 100% if it's you. If it's you that got robbed, you that got your house broken into, you that got your car all bent up, it's 100% higher than the other day. So stop minimizing the effects on crime on the people in Montgomery. It's tough. What you want, Don?
So Tuberville got the branches of the country wrong last night?
Well, he didn't get them wrong, but he forgot.
Where did you hear him? Gotcha.
It was written up in one.
It was like in 2020. He
okay. Well, I don't. Well,
so you didn't hear him last night?
No, I didn't hear him at all. It's just what I read. I can't read, and just what I read yesterday. And
I'm just really fascinated about you calling these businesses.
Well, I called my.
And you called them the marketing people.
Well, those are the ones who go out and see whether or not places are.
No, marketing people sell products.
I know they do. They also sell their business.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
What did they tell you?
Well,
people you spoke to.
That's between me and them.
Yeah. Well, you just make up stuff.
Okay,
I think Joe Reed lied yesterday. I think Joe Jr. lied.
Did you ever have anything positive? No. But do you ever have anything positive to say?
Yeah, I'm positive sure that Joe Jr. lied yesterday when he said he was on a trial.
But you lied
about somebody, and the police said the guy didn't pull the trigger.
Well, we ain't talking
about that. I tried to find the case in Montgomery where this happened, and I can't find the case.
I'm trying to find.
You have to be certified to do a murder trial, and I can't find where Joe Jr. is certified to do murder trials.
This is not about law. This is about how you.
This is about making up crap about.
Okay, never mind. You're right. This is about changing the perspective, the attitude of people who think Montgomery is something that it isn't. I mean, so what would you tell the mayor? Okay, what would you tell the mayor? Emory ran the. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as he's running it well. Somebody say Steve should resign. Well, and then no matter who takes his place, we're gonna be complaining. Okay, we no matter who becomes the mayor, be it J.C. Love, be it that the guy who ran last time, be it whoever it is, we will be complaining. So it doesn't make any. No matter who your city council person is, you are going to complain. Somebody is going to complain. Now, find me a city where nobody's complaining, and that's where I live. I lived in Honolulu for a couple of years, the paradise. People were complaining about being over there, wishing they could come over here. And then when they got over here, when we got over here, we started complaining about being here. Okay? So how do we change the perception here? What would you tell the mayor? What would you tell my problem? I think the mayor needs to, and this is just me. I think the mayor needs to put on an attitude of put his ankle up these crooks' butt. Okay, whatever you got to do, release the hounds. Okay, release the Kraken. Okay, and the Kraken would be our police department to do their job, not to beat people up, although some of them need to be beat up. Not to beat people up, not to misuse citizens, but be tough, be firm, but be fair. And right now, and it's ironically, because I talk, and whether he believes it or not, the last city council meeting, the one before this one, I talked to a couple of police officers, and you know what? I said, name me some things wrong with the police department, and not one of them said anything about the mayor. They said it's the culture by which we live in. They said it's the culture by which we live in, which is why we're going so far off the rails. That's what they said. And I was surprised because I was hoping to hear secretly, it's the mayor, the mayor this and the mayor that. But I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that from police officers. I thought that's what I was going to hear. He said a lot of people don't want to be policemen because it's not that job where you it was fairly done. Yeah. Because the summer gun never has anything decent to say about anybody. Nobody. I bet he talked about his mother. He just doesn't have anything to say. Come up with some suggestions for the mayor, rather than tell him how bad he is and all that stuff. Like telling me how bad I am. Listen. If you cannot be encouraging, if you cannot add anything positive to the conversation, then don't. Sometimes, listen. The Bible says there's a time and a season for all things. Sometimes there is a time to be critical. Sometimes it is okay to be skeptical. But there are other times you should be encouraging. What comes out of your mouth, our mouth, affect people. Sometimes you need to get them on the right track. Yes. Hello.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I listened to an interview with J.C. Love on yesterday on TV, and he said that you can vote. This is an open primary, and you can vote if you're an independent, a Democrat, a Libertarian, or a Republican. You can vote in this election because it's an open primary.
Now, but you can't vote in District 3 unless you live in District 3.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about August the 11th.
Okay.
We're going to vote on Districts 1, 2, and those
7.
Districts. That's the ones I'm talking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So no matter what you are, you can vote in this primary.
You can vote, he said, because it's an open primary. That came out of his mouth.
Oh, okay.
On an interview on yesterday on TV.
Okay, then.
So he can call in and he can bag himself up, because I know he went and got on TV on that interview. I think it was Channel 12 and said that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you for the information. Thank you for being my producer off-site.
Well, like I said, every time the polls open, you should vote. That's what I do.
I agree.
I just want to make sure it's legal.
Okay. All right, then. Good. Appreciate it. Information. And again, so you're like, I'm not trying. Listen, I have some good things to say about the mayor. I have some good things to say about our city councilman. And I also have some disagreements with the mayor, and I have disagreement with some of our city council person too. But I don't, I'm not vitriolic. Okay. He's just evil when he says it. Okay. Like calling the thing that the mayor wants to put up, this auditorium thing, calling it the rap center. He's being derogatory as I don't know what. Okay, I don't think you're gonna have anything in Montgomery called the Rap Center. Okay, I just don't believe that. But he does it to be derogatory. Okay, I don't mind criticism. Criticism is great, but if you're gonna have criticism, then have an answer for it. Have an answer for it. And what's the word? And so after seeing what Tuberville did, I'm gonna call this office this morning too. Tell me, I don't think he should have did it that way, but that's just me. Good morning.
Good morning, Doc. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Hey, look, you were talking about some suggestions to the mayor, right?
Right.
Be honest.
Okay.
Be upfront. Like I say, when you do good, you want the praise. When things go bad, you want to deflect and look the other way. No, I put it like this. When it pertains to him, getting us in good shape as far as money-wise, he's doing a good job. He's honest about that. He's upfront. He's telling you the ins and the outs and how things got done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when things are not looking good, we don't need the lies about crime is down when you can sit here and look on social media and every other hour or every hour, something crazy is going on and we're sitting here looking at it.
Okay, and again though, and I hear you, and I totally agree with you. Like I said earlier, when somebody breaks in my house, even though nobody broke in anybody's house in his neighborhood or the neighborhoods around him, that's great. But when they break in my house, to me, crime is up 1,000%.
Well, no, it's not. No. I disagree, and I think the problem when it pertains to crime.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he'll say crime is down
mm-hmm.
when really it's not. When really what he should say is violent crimes are down. Because guess what? People are still getting raped, houses are still getting broken into, things are still getting vandalized, domestic violence is still on an all-time high. So overall, crime is not down. Maybe when he goes to give a crime report, he needs to specify. Now that could help bring some, kind of ease a little tension, because when you come out and make just a blunt statement, crime is down, when we see cops, is it putting folks in cuffs every time, every corner you turn, it's not true. And then what happens when it do finally happens to somebody that come out and speak against it, they're going to take it, like you say, 1,000%. But he can kind of guide that bull by the horns if he just specifies. All he got to do is specify. We all know crime ain't down. We all know we don't have enough cops. We know that.
But that's the way it is across the nation right now.
We don't care about across the nation. We stay right here in Montgomery, Alabama. I don't care what they. I don't even care what they're doing in Prattville.
Right.
I could care less.
But let's
I'm
not
talking
act
about
as
Montgomery.
but let's not act as though Montgomery is without policemen because of a particular thing.
No, we're not without them, Kevin, but we barely got them. Let's just be bluntly honest. I don't want to hear about no Prattville. I don't care what they're doing in Wetumpka. I don't care what they're doing in Elmore.
Yeah.
Montgomery is budgeted for 400 plus officers, and we don't have them.
That's true.
We don't even have half of that.
Right.
That's what I want to deal with, because this is where I stay.
Yeah. But the question is, why don't we?
Okay, right. Once again, that's something we have to figure out. But I don't want to hear about what's going on across the world. I'm talking about right here.
Okay.
And whatever the problem is, they need to put it to the forefront and deal with it.
Yeah. All right.
Stop deflecting. Stop telling me about other places, him too, and deal with what we have right here on our plate.
All righty.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
That is your sentiment. When you guys call in, just keep calling back, because I only got one line. I figured out how to put another line in here. I'm just trying to check it. We low on the state troopers. Right. We're low on state troopers also. And you rarely hear that mentioned. Absolutely. And we are, and if you call down the governor's place, they're low on state troopers. We're low on police all over the country. And a lot of that happened when the George Floyd thing hit. Okay. When that George Floyd thing hit up Minnesota, wherever he was, that put a damper on a lot of people wanting to be a police officer. I mean, the way those police officers were treated, even though I do think what that police officer did by putting his knee on the neck of somebody, I think that I think that was that began the slide of police officers not wanting to be police officers. Good morning, Simpler Days.
Good morning, prospective councilman.
Perspective, yes.
Hey, is garbage down all over the United States?
Garbage?
Garbage. Are the garbage pickups down all over the United States? Are the garbage trucks down all over the United States?
Now that I do not know.
I can tell you that's a big old no.
Okay.
And it's just like in Tuscaloosa, they got street sweepers, and they'll send out the notice that the street sweepers are coming down your street this week, this day, so don't park your car on the street. Make sure it's clean in front of your house so the street sweepers can clean the street. We used to have street sweepers in Montgomery. We used to provide escorts to them, and they go about and do their deal. So, but we can't even get the garbage trucks. And that's what the previous caller was talking about, deflection. He says in one breath that he is the guru of finances and that no other mayor in the history of the city has had the city in a better financial position than he does.
And
so,
and is there any information contrary to that is out there?
Well, you've got to take that with a grain of salt, and you've got to realize that no other mayor in the history of this city had as much federal money pumped into this city as he has. So you can use other money for other things.
Okay. Okay.
So that's not a true invalid. It's not a 100% true statement. There's some things underlying that feed that statement, but that's what the previous caller's talking about. And when you say crime is down, there was a study completed a long time ago, Mayor, in the city of Oakland, California, and it talks about crime reporting. And when you don't report the numbers correctly, as we know Montgomery didn't, and they got the hand slapped by the state for not reporting the numbers correctly, then if you don't have police officers out there on the street, and this is what this study was about, you don't have the opportunity to report crime because there's not an officer. You don't see the officer. You're not going to go up to him and say, hey, can you come by my house? Somebody broke into my car. You don't see him in the neighborhood. You don't see him at the convenience store drinking coffee, and you come up to him, hey, I want to report a crime that I know about. There's not that availability because when you have less police officers, it's going to be less crime reported. And then when they have to wait for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or they don't even show up at all for you to report your crime, then is crime going to be down?
Well, theoretically.
Yes, the answer, you can hem all around about it, but yes.
But again, though, and here's my answer. I hear what you're saying. Ultimately, who's ever in the chair has to accept responsibility for that environment because you're in the chair. But it does seem in Montgomery, Alabama, we make it personal with Stephen Reed. And it's not.
You're exactly right. And I'm glad I made it very personal with the Strange mayor. And when you had you're right.
Yeah, y'all did get on time. I thought y'all was kind of hard on my friend Todd also, but that's
I know you got him on speed dial. I know he's on your favorites, on your contacts, but
right.
I got on his case and I ate lunch with him at the Kiwanis.
Mm-hmm.
I got on his case because when I know somebody's not shooting straight, and when he let some rich lady and her daughter stroll into his office where you might have had the opportunity because Y'all are buds.
Yeah, I got that.
Let's the rich lady and her daughter stroll in there and try to sell him on the concept of the whitewater park, and then he spends $10,000 of the taxpayers' money to do a study.
But it's a good concept, though. It's a good concept.
It's a good concept for a certain population of people, but not for the majority and not for everybody to enjoy. And if it was such a great concept, then private sector would have been knocking his door down, not some rich lady and her daughter.
Well,
but all I'm saying is, and as you said, the person in the chair accepts the responsibility. But if you got the best financial position the city has ever been in, then why can't you do the basics and have the garbage trucks, the police cars, have those basic things? And as you said, when you got out and started looking around, the city is not the rainbow that he wants to paint it out. Downtown, where he works, looks great. Where his office is, looks great. But you go apart in other parts of the city, not so much.
But let me ask something. Aren't the people, and that's what I've noticed about working District 3, aren't the people in these communities partially responsible for the way it looks?
Sure they are. Sure they are. And it's a responsibility for somebody to call down. And I don't know if we even still have the section down there that used to be downtown called Montgomery, Beautify Montgomery, Clean Montgomery, whatever it used to be called. And you could call them, and then they would call the appropriate people and make sure that they'd come out. And we had people that went out and put notices out about weeds growing in the yard, trash, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, I've seen multiple occasions in this city where they're allowing people to park the tractors, not the trailers, but the 18-wheeler tractors on the streets.
Where are they supposed to park them?
Well, they're not supposed to be in a residential section. There's signs. There used to be signs all over that says no trucks, no trucks, no trucks.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm a truck driver, because I don't understand, I was only a truck driver for a short period of time in the Army. I drove the big old rig, believe it or not. If that's what I do for a living, where am I supposed to pull my truck up to when I come home?
Well, it's where all the other, you have an option. You got a choice. Mm-hmm. You can live in an area, in a rural area. You can live outside of Montgomery proper. You can live plenty of places where you can park that tractor, but you're not supposed to park it on the street.
Is that a city ordinance?
Yeah.
So if I lived in my house for 30 years and I finally got a job driving a truck, so now I got to go put my vehicle someplace else?
Well, no, it's just like people that have RVs, these big motorhomes.
Okay.
They can't park them up. They got to pay a lot of place to park them.
Okay. All right.
Because if you start parking those on the street, then the guy across the street parks one. Now you can't even get traffic down the street. There's a reason for it.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. I didn't realize that was. I thought it was an inconvenience for the citizens to So we're looking at optics here, rather than.
Well, we're not looking at optics. Is the secondary. The primary reason is that the streets are narrow in residential sections, and then you start parking these big tractors, and then the next person says, "Well, I'm gonna bring the tractor and the trailer," and now you're taking up.
Well, that's true.
There's a primary reason for that, and all these people, independent truckers, they figure out where to put that tractor when they're not working.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is the nuts and the bolts of the city, and I know it's not glamorous. I know it's not exciting like trying to get a football arena in here from Birmingham, and that's the most ridiculous thing. Have you heard about that?
I heard. I saw it talked about yesterday. Listen. Every mayor has their dream. Emory, Bobby Bright, Todd. I mean, every mayor. So listen, if he can work it out, let him work it out. I'm not a very.
But we're gonna pay. Every mayor has a dream, mayor, with your taxpayers' money. We're gonna the golden goose is gonna quit laying eggs. We're gonna have to pay for all this stuff, and he speaks in code. We know the tax is coming, but the football stadium downtown, mayor. When did you come here?
91.
Okay. That Crampton Bowl used to be packed with people when Jeff Davis, Lee, and Carver played in that bowl.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you go down there now, it's a ghost town. High school football.
Is that our fault? Or I mean, do we market it well? Do we? First of all, those look like some of the most uncomfortable seats I ever seen. I'm not going to go down there and sit that hard bench. That's like being in church. With a hard bench. I don't want to do it.
Well, all the mamas and daddies, all the uncles, grandmas, cousins, and aunts used to go down there and sit and watch their children and watch their relatives play football. So, but they make cushions for your little dainty butt. You have a good day.
Well, whatever. I ain't mad at nobody, but I ain't said that. I want to be able to lean back in my chair and listen and look at the game. I don't want to sit there with that hard bench. Cause I complain about the church when I go to sometimes. Why did it bench so hard? Give me a pillow or give me a reclining chair or something. Not so I can go to sleep, but when I go to the movie theater, they got nice seats in the movie theater. How come we can't have the same kind of seats in the football stadium that we got in the movie theater? Huh? And it costs about the same amount. It costs about the same amount of money to go to either one of them. That's just one black man's opinion. But anyway, we're talking about what would you tell the mayor and to get Tuberville off our case. Now what Tuberville did not mention yesterday, in Washington, D.C., that is the home of the FBI. Okay, let me FBI, CIA. Okay, CIA. Okay, I'm gonna show you something here. NSA, and a plethora of other law enforcement agencies, and not that far from Virginia, where the United States Army, U.S. Department of Defense, and all these people walking around with guns. Oh yeah, let's not forget the Secret Service. So, Mr. Tuberville, and again, I like Tuberville. I'm going to vote for Tuberville. Okay, if he's on that list, I'm going to vote for him for governor. Okay, I like him. I don't like everything about him, but I think he'll make a good governor. But Mr. Tuberville, my mama used to say, clean around your own front door before you try to clean around mine. If it had not been for the President of the United States, even with all these people that I just told you about, calling out the National Guard in a city that per capita was shooting, killing, stealing, and all kinds of things, and you surrounded by the White House. So if it can happen in Washington, D.C., when you got the FBI, CIA, NSA, Secret Service, and a plethora of other acronyms that are around there, and they even got police we don't know about, state capitol police, the Capitol Police, and we got people stealing in Washington, D.C., Secret Service vehicles. Okay? So every place in America right now is under siege, it seems, from crooks. Now, why is that? So I'm just saying, Senator Tuberville, clean around your own front door up there in Washington before you come down here and getting on the mayor about crime here. I'm just saying, when you got all that firepower up there in Washington, D.C., and you can't keep people from being shot on the streets. So let's not act like this is not going on every place, because it is. Okay. And the question is, it is a matter of culture. It is a matter of culture. When we and we need to figure out how to change that. We need to figure out how to change the culture of Montgomery, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Boston, St. Louis, East St. Louis, Chicago, particularly. How do we change that culture? Where being a gangbanger seems to get you in some kind of club. I don't know what club it is, but it seems to get you in some kind of club. Are we? And I think one of the things we've done as a nation, we have failed to implement discipline on our kids, and those kids grow up to be grown folks. And then they're out there doing all these criminal activities because they never had any discipline. Our public schools were not implemented. People are not implementing it at home. So the only place these people are going to get any introduction to discipline is in jail. We got so many people in jail in America now that we got family reunions in it. Okay? Sedition, I would agree with you, Joe, but guess what? Nobody was ever charged with sedition. So take that one someplace else. Okay? I understand that. And I'd rather a man steal my money than come in my house and try to kill me. So if he go to the bank, my money is insured. Okay, I get the money back. That's not a problem. Okay, and believe me, I'm covered. I don't have that much money that they said they don't cover me. I got enough money in there to cover. Matter of fact, I may have enough in the shoebox someplace in the house in order to get it done. Okay. That doesn't stop you from drinking. Anyway, but the bottom line is that I think the senator yesterday was being somewhat disingenuous to focus on Montgomery when he needs to be focusing on Washington, D.C. But the president came in there and squared that away by calling the National Guard. And I heard civilians in Washington, D.C. said now they can walk down the street. Now, I don't think Montgomery's ever been that big. Yes, we've had some incidences where people have been shot and hurt, and unbeknownst to him, some fool, some desperate derelict using guns to do that. Yeah, I'm with you, and I know that. But it is the environment. It was the environment in Washington, D.C. It was not news to hear somebody just got killed in Washington, D.C. A year or so ago. Some diplomats from Israel somewhere, and a man and woman got killed. Diplomats, you can almost start wars with countries by coming over here and getting their diplomats killed. That's how bad Washington D.C. was before Trump got there. So Trump, it may not make the right decisions on everything, but he surely makes a lot of right decisions because he is not one of those people who wants to be politically correct. Sometimes he ought to be politically correct, but most of the time he ought not be, and I appreciate it. And I like that about Tuberville too. Be a man. If it's on your mind, say it, but just make sure what you say is right. Make sure what you say is right. So Mr. Tuberville, before you get on Montgomery, I think we ought to take care of Washington. You need y'all got crime up there too, okay? And we got crime around the White House. I mean, we got fools holding up Secret Service agents in Washington, D.C. Okay, I'm just saying. But anyway, so much for that. So, what do we tell the mayor? You have the mayor's ear. What would you tell him if he was listening right now, which he is? What would you tell him? How do you think he should go about handling? I'm not really concerned about what Tuberville said. Okay, the governor got a little power, but they don't have a whole hell of a lot of power in the state of Alabama. Okay, show up, kiss some babies and stuff like that, cut the ribbon on some things, but not a whole hell of a lot of power. I mean, they probably do have the power to call out the National Guard, but that would be an extreme. That would be an extreme situation, I think. But I will admit to you, for a minute there, it looked like. It did look, before the Max group came, the state patrol, the sheriff department, and city police got together. I mean, for a minute there, we thought we was going to have to call out the National Guard. But anyway, so The same people who are complaining about the environment in the culture by which we find ourselves is partially responsible for that culture. Okay. Again, one of the things I would like to see in Montgomery, if I have any choice in the matter, one of the things I like to see, if you come to municipal court and you're 17 and below, you need to bring your parents with you. And if your parents don't show up, you put a warrant out for their arrest for contempt of court. Because when you start hitting people in the pocket, maybe, just maybe, unless you've shown a record of due diligence and your child just won't mind you, and the way you do that, you call DYS, you call some of those counselors, you take them to these counseling sessions, and if you've done all of that, you've done your due diligence to make your child mind, and he doesn't, then he needs to spend some time in kid jail. Okay, but I do believe one of the ways to change this culture, put some responsibility back in. Having babies means more than having a good time for 13 minutes and then 18 years of hell. Okay, 17 years of hell. In municipal court, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna see if I get up there. I'm gonna see if we can get together and do that. If you show up for court and you 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, you got to bring parents with you. You can't show up by yourself. And if the parent's not there with you, then guess what? We're going to put a warrant out for her and up to me for contempt of court. We have to change the culture. And the main thing we have to change is that parents have to figure out you're responsible for everything your child does until he turns 18 years old. And then we'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. That kid of yours is 18 now. We got this. Okay. We got a big, the governor is making sure that we got a place to put them. 5,500 beds out there in Elmore County somewhere with somebody's name on it. We got a nameplate in it already. All we need to do is fill in the letters. Okay. That's what I'm saying. And parents need to be held 100% responsible for what their kids do. Rob somebody, shoot somebody, whatever the case may be, which means you have failed. Okay. Now, there are some kids with their own temperament. They're going to do what they want to do, and that's fine. So what you do is you call DYS or DHY, and you make a report on him. And you have him set out there for a little bit. Okay. The only way you don't go to jail for what your kids do in my world is that you've shown a due diligence. Okay, you shown to do what you said one for her, him too. Absolutely, absolutely. If the father is on that birth certificate, him too. I don't care if he ain't seen his kid in 10 years. Him too. Okay, you put out for both of them to show up. So, ladies and gentlemen, if Elkins is on the city council, you better find where your daddy is. You better find out where them kids' daddy is. Okay, because if it had my way, oh, absolutely. You don't get out of this because he won't mind. Well, that ain't my problem. That's your problem because you didn't teach him as he was coming up. That ain't my problem. I don't give you mine or not. But now he's gonna be mine. It's gonna be ours. We're gonna put him in DYS for a while. Okay, so we need to change the culture, and that's the way to change the culture. If a parent knows that they finna lose money if their child has to go to court, and we ain't making that much money as it is, but everybody pays. If you want to break in somebody's house at 2:00 in the morning, the people's house you're breaking into it's going to either make you pay or they're gonna pay, and either way it goes, it's a bad situation. Well, now under my world, under my watch, if I have anything to do with it, yeah, parents gonna pay too. Everybody gonna pay. Okay, everybody gonna pay for what your child does. It is your responsibility to raise your kids, not ours. And hell with the village. Hell with the village. The village didn't have that child. I hear this thing down south all the time. Well, we help raise everybody's kids. That's bull crap. Didn't nobody help me raise mine, except the mama. Chill. They help. But I was there, brother, as a 2x4 to knock him out. Okay. Yes, I agree with what. Absolutely, I agree. Listen, first of all, he bought his child a gun. The guy enjoyed it. Yeah, he bought his child a gun, from what I understand. Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah, he's where he needs to go. A lot of people dead right now because he bought his untrained, undisciplined child and brought a gun to school and killed people. Okay. So, well, that's true. You don't have to be on the birth certificate. I understand that. But I believe the father's name, both of them, somebody's parent gonna have to show up. Not grandmama either. We ain't putting this on grandma. Grandma done raised enough kids already. She ain't got to raise yours too. But we need to. He doesn't have to be on the birth certificate if they decide to do the deed. That's true too. But we don't know legally who the father is unless they're on the birth certificate. Okay, unless they've had that adjudicated, so we don't know. So whoever's name is on that birth certificate is a person that's responsible for you until you 18 years old. Okay, I'm just we need to change the culture, and maybe, just maybe, we won't have the generation coming up behind these kids will be a little bit different. Yeah, and we've shown that it's possible. Look at Valiant Cross, and somebody told me Brock was planning on running for mayor, but I don't know if that's true or not. But look at what they've done. They've taken kids from the same communities that other kids are from and turned out some pretty good kids over the last 4 years. What's up? Yeah, what's on your mind?
What's the topic? We just talk about all the good kids going to other communities.
I said, no. We were talking about parental involvement and parental responsibility for your children. If they go ahead and commit crime and they're 17 and below, you need to come to court with them, dad and mom, at least one of them. And we can't find the daddy. We need to put a warrant out for him for contempt of court too. Parents need to start showing up in court.
Parents need to start putting these belts to these kids.
Absolutely,
they should have been doing it, and they never should have stopped doing it. Yep. They want to be their friends. That's the problem. That's the big problem.
Well, it is a problem.
No respect,
and we're paying for that problem right now. We're paying.
and it's on the beginning.
Yep, we are paying for it.
It's on the beginning. You got these YNs with these long guns.
Yep.
They big, bad, and tough, and they only weigh up 140 pounds, soaking wet.
Mm-hmm. Take that gun away from them, they'll run like a chicken.
Yep. So, and there's a lot of YNs in District 3. That's the seat you're running for.
Mm-hmm.
So how you gonna solve that problem? How you gonna solve that?
It ain't my job to solve the problem. My job to have a temporary solution. Because if the parent don't solve it, I can't. The parent is responsible for taking care of that. But our job is to, if the parents can't do it, then hold both of them responsible. 17 and below, hold everybody. Hell, put everybody in jail. I mean, I don't care anymore. I'm just sick of it, But their parents are responsible, not the village. I lie about when I was coming up, my neighbor could spank me.
It takes a village.
No, it don't. It takes a parent. It don't take a village.
It takes a parent and a village.
It don't even take that. If you didn't have a village, you still have the child. So it takes a parent.
Well, if the parent did that, means you got the other people. That means that's a village.
And everybody need to get together. The village need to get together every once in a while and have a party because nobody got killed.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Prayer changes things too, but we got to put in the work ourselves.
That's true, but the parent is responsible for the actions of their child until they are 18 years old. And we better start reminding some of these parents that we got to change the culture, brother. Unless we change the culture, nothing else is going to change around here. We got to change the culture with these kids thinking they somebody, and they're not. So we got to do that. And it's going to be up to the grown people to change that culture, not the parents.
Yeah, and I'm about to end this call and hang up once I say this.
Mm-hmm.
Even though all this stuff is going on, guess what?
What's that?
God is still good.
He's still in charge. But he also gave us a brain and some sense and told us exactly what to do. Spare the rod, spoil the child, and now we see what he was talking about.
Well, I didn't ask for all that.
Well,
I still say God is still good.
And he still gave us rules to live by.
Yep.
Okay.
He's still good. You have a nice day.
Good. Yeah. It ain't never a question what God is good and that ain't the question. The question is we're not so good sometimes. We're not so good sometimes. And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. A village won't hurt, maybe not, but the village ain't responsible for your child. You are. You're responsible for knowing where your child is until he's 18 years old. You need to know everything about him. Everything. You need to go in his room, do an inspection every once in a while, look under the bed, look under the covers, look in the closet, check his pockets while they're in their room. He needs to know that, this is going to be like jail. You don't have no privacy around here. Okay. And if you do, because you got to earn it. Okay. Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that. No locks on the doors, none whatsoever until they get about 15 or something. We don't want you going in there and disturbing your son. In this case, he's busy. But still, no locks on the building at least till you're 16. When you get 16, you have a right to have a lock on the door. But I have the right to have the key to it, know how to get in there. And so if I want to go in there and do an inspection while you're gone, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just with you. So we need to change the culture. These kids are in a position these days where they actually think that they have a right to do some of the crap they do. And until we change the culture, nothing else is going to change across this country, whether it's Chicago, whether it's Montgomery, Birmingham, Millbrook, Wetumpka, Prattville. We got to change the culture. And it seems, now I could be wrong on this. I could be wrong. But why does it seem that black children are the ones that are out of damn control? Why is that? Has anybody seen the latest film, the videos now of these kids going around in mass, tearing up people's business? And they're all black. So why is the proliferation of crime of children in this country right now with black kids? Are we doing that? Somebody said it takes a prison. Are we culturally, are we just all messed up? We don't believe, and you see, civilian world don't give you IEPs. Okay, the P stands for prison, and the E stands for entering prison. Okay, individual entering prison. That's what the IEP stands for. Individual entering prison. Okay, I'm just telling you that's what your IEP is going to be, because nothing else seems to work. We had better change our culture quickly, or else. Funny thing about it. Here's the thing about it. When our kids do crazy things and end up shot on TV, we always see a parent. He was a good boy. He wouldn't hurt nobody. And then we see him on film robbing somebody. We see him on film throwing something to somebody. And has anybody looked at Facebook lately? It's like women are advertising for show for the Equalizer or something. I've never seen in my life. And maybe women have fought like this. I don't know. But Facebook has made heroes out of idiots. Okay. And then they end up in jail. And then now everybody's to blame. I'm sorry. Moving on to other things. A couple of months ago, we asked the mayor about that $5 million that had been set aside for small businesses. And we know that $2.5 million of that money is gone. It's gone, and it's gone to consultants. But where is the money? And let's talk about ARPA money. So we get all that money, and we got people up in Newtown who don't have water. They really don't have great water to drink up there, from what I understand yesterday when I'm up there talking to some of the people. And just to be fair, I got a call yesterday from the chairman of the city council. They're going up there. Now that picture that you see I put online, that's private property. But what he told me was when he puts stuff out in the street, then they can go up there. But I'm telling you, whether it's private property or not, you don't have a right to create an environment that is unsafe for the community. Okay, roaches, rats, snakes, and all kinds of things up there. But he did tell me, CC Calhoun did call me yesterday and told me that they're going up there today or whenever, and they're going to do their best they can to remove whatever they can. Okay, so making a difference, and I ain't even in office yet. But anyway, that's what we got to do. We have to change our culture because our culture in this country is absolutely bad. It's absolutely, it's just not good. You know, I was supposed to. I got to take a break. I forgot. I gotta give. I have to send somebody a text for I was supposed to have a guest this morning. I forgot all about it. So let me see if I can get them on the line right quick here. Let me see. Where did it go? See, I got too busy. Okay, I know it's in here someplace. Okay, y'all just bear with me for a second here. I suppose I got somebody who had a big complaint about what's going on. What's going on in the here right here. Is this what it is? But anyway, I lost the number. Sorry about that. But I was going to get them on. Maybe I'll get them on tomorrow. When I get the number, I'll get them on. They want to complain about something that's happening downtown. Today is, of course, the city council meeting. I think that the $375 million proposal is coming up. If I'm on the city council today and I am the voter who can decide, do we get it or we don't get it? I would have to say $375 million is a lot of money to put this city in debt at one time. But I would be amenable. To half that. And if that were to finish because we do need a civic center. We do need one. Every major city in America has a civic center. I mean, every capital. I mean, we are the capital. We do need a civic center, but do we need one for $375 million? I don't think so. I don't know, but I would be amenable for half that, so we don't put our all our eggs in one basket. Okay, that's what. Okay. So I'm just thinking, you know, that's with that. Today, right now, as it sits right now, I would not be for the $375 million thing. To me, it's like buying a car, like I used to do. I bought a car every other year, right? And all I did was take the value of the new car and the remaining loan on the old car and mix them together. So now the car is paid off. Somebody's going to get a great deal. I'm going to pay double for a car that I didn't have to do that had I not traded cars or put a lot more money down on the car first, because I think I sent Dick Brubaker's kids to college with all the cars I bought at Brubaker. They always gave me a great deal. At least I thought it was a great deal anyway. So so I would be against it. I wouldn't in its current form. I would be against it. I would go 50% of that, just 50%. You have to have some reserve. You have to have something in reserve just in case things get tough. Okay, to spend it all on that, I would not go for it. Not right now. As a matter of fact, to tell you the truth, I'd rather, now this is just me, not everybody else. Did I vote for open borders? Of course not. Of course I didn't vote for open borders. Although I understand why people come. I'd come too if I lived in some of those countries. I'd be here too. So I don't blame them, but I do blame us. I do blame us for leaving the door open and then wondering why somebody came in. So I'm curious, what advice would you give the mayor? You missed it. My advice to the mayor is to come across more definitive and more a little angry about the crime, because he lives in this city too. He can't be happy. Stop being political about it. Stop. You don't have to be calm. You don't have to be calm and collected all the time. Get angry. Get upset about it. Be as angry and upset as the citizens are who have been the victims of either getting shot, killed, windows blew out in their house, children killed in their house in their bed. Be adamant about getting this under control. Forget the political correctness. You don't have to look suave all the time. You don't have to look good. We want to know that you hurt as much as I hurt. If I'm so blessed as to get into the city council, you know what? When somebody calls me, I'm gonna feel what they feel. Okay, I'm gonna feel what they feel. I wasn't born on a on some factory or nothing. I mean, I wasn't born in a great neighborhood of South Bend, in the rich side of town. I was born next to the project. Never lived in the project, but I live right next to him. So you might as well be in them. And I think that story is pretty much. I think it's pretty much for everybody in America. And we all started at meager beginnings, and some of us still there. But that ain't so. And so that's what I would do. He comes across as, and it is not on purpose. He comes across sometimes as not really. It is just a matter of fact of living in Montgomery crime. That's just the way it is. That's just the way things go. And it's not. It's not. We don't need that. We need. I want that mayor to be just as pissed off as I am about somebody breaking in my house, a bullet hole in my window, my car broken into. Okay, I want him to be just as angry, if not more so, than I am. Okay. So, again, we mentioned that to people. Now, if the people say, "Hey, if the people on the yay side get more votes than the people on the nay side, then so be it." I personally think it ought to go to the people. I really do. Since they don't want to go out to pay it back, if it all goes downhill and the bond markets goes downhill and the interest rates go down, everything goes downhill, we're going to have to pay it back through higher fees. Okay, to higher fees and fines with our dollars. So I think it ought to go to the people. That way, if it doesn't work, then nobody can say anything. Nobody can say anything. We voted for this. Okay. Just like we vote for mayors, just like we vote for presidents, just like we vote for city council people, just like we vote for House of Representatives, state senators, and House representatives. I mean, we voted for them. You can't raise a whole lot of hell if you voted for them. And even if you didn't vote for them, it's still your fault because you didn't get enough people out to vote against it. So you see, either way it goes, if we vote, we're responsible for what happens either way. So, and then you can't complain about anything. Okay. You didn't get enough people to come out on your side, and the other people got more people than you got. That's where the process, that's the way, and all you need is one more vote than the other guy. Except in the Democratic and Republican Party, you got to get more percent of the vote. Over 51% of the vote, where I think y'all just get one more vote. If you get one more vote than the other guy, then you should win. But they don't want to do that. They want to give the guy who came in second a second shot. Okay, they want to be fair. They want to be fair. They want to give the guy who came in second place another chance to beat you. So that's what I mean. What a dumb rule. What a dumb rule. If it's one man, one vote, then the guy who gets one more vote than the other guy wins. But that's not the way we do it down here in Alabama. But we tell you, no. I know you got 28 more votes than he got. 50 plus 1. I know you did, but you didn't get 50 plus 1 of the total vote. I got 14 people in this race. Right? We got 14 people in this race for city council. And of course it's going to be a runoff. Okay, of course it's going to be a runoff. I mean, give the guy whoever comes in second a chance to beat you. I don't know. I think it's bad. One man, one vote. Because what you tell all those other people is that your vote don't count. Okay, your vote doesn't count. Even though I got to the polls, I had to hitch a ride to get there. It's pitch black at night. I ain't talking about the electoral college. I understand the electoral college, because the electoral college tried to make the big states and the small states to be both of significance. And the electoral college did that. So you could take Maryland or Rhode Island and they can make a difference also. Okay. So like he did for the school. I don't know. I'll have to leave that to the mayor. But anyway, I got it. Okay. If y'all see this right here, my milk glass is empty. So I had to go get me some milk and got to take a 3-minute break. I got to take a pause for the calls. So we'll be back. 3-minute BRK. So I'll be back in a little bit here. So don't y'all. I gotta get my milk. Okay. So hang loose. We'll come up and we will finish the epilogue of this show today. Okay. So what did we learn today? We need to change the culture. We need to change the culture of our city, of our country, and we need to. If we don't have any suggestions of how somebody can do something better, then why whine? I mean, really, because when you whining, when you're telling me that you got a better idea, and I love to hear it. I would love to hear some better ideas. But if you're just gonna whine, shut up. All right, give me a better idea. Give the mayor a better idea. Give your city council person a better idea. City councilmen and mayors and presidents don't have all the answers. Okay, give an idea, but they do hold the office. And in our system of government, they run things. They make the laws, they make the ordinances, but let's put that responsibility on them and not us. Okay, I'm just saying. So if you got a better idea, if you know a better way to make a house, then tell somebody. Like the one guy said, so you're the only guy in your whole family that knows how to make that pie, that special pumpkin pie. And when you die, when it's all said and done, nobody is ever going to be able to taste that good old pumpkin pie that you used to make because you died with the recipe. Don't be stingy. Share the recipe. Okay? Share the recipe of success with all of us, because you actually may end up having a pretty good idea. You know what I mean? So, let me see what Steve wants before I get out of here. What's up, Simply Days? Right,
Mayor, didn't you say that the city council couldn't do anything about the man's property up there because it's private property?
He had, it's private property, not the mayor, but I talked to CC Calhoun yesterday. The things that are on private property, they just cannot go up there, I guess, and pick it up. But he has things on the street or near the curb, and they said they're going to go and get those. I don't know what the deal on. I don't know what the deal on if it presents itself as a hazard, a health hazard. You would think that the city would be able to do something about it.
Well, how are they able to go get condemnments and get these apartment complexes and these abandoned? Those are
They go to court. They go to court.
They go to court.
Yeah, they go to court. Yeah, absolutely.
And how does the health department go on a businessman's property and say he can't serve this food? That's private property. it's a process, and you just said of going to court, taking photographs, and presenting a statement that it's a public health hazard. There's roaches, there's rats, it's creating a public health hazard.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, you got to go to court, and somebody's got to file the motion.
That's true. But it can be done, because if they can take your house that you done lived in for 15 years, made all the payments except the last 10 because you lost your job, and they can take your house, it seems like to me they ought to be able to take people's property that's creating a danger thing. I'll see if I can get Calhoun to explain that to you tomorrow sometime, because I don't really get it all, but it seemed like to me that you're right.
Well, as Coach Saban said, it's a process.
It's a process.
Have a good day.
All right. Gotta take a break. Be back in 3 minutes. Don't go away. We'll be back. If you got anything enlightening to tell me, please, just tell me. We'll be okay. I'm the smartest guy on the radio and podcast, but I'm not the smartest guy in the world. So I'm pretty sure there's some things that I don't know. So I'm good. Okay. So we'll be back. Okay, we're back. Now, somebody called a little while ago, and I didn't get a chance to get to the phone. So let me see if I can get them on the phone right now, because I don't want anybody to think I'm doing my people wrong. So let me see here now. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go, right there. Okay.
334207568 is not available. The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Hey, good morning.
Well, what's going on there, Mr. B? I'm calling you back. The only talk show that call you back.
Okay, I called you because I was going to just tell you I had a few talking points for you. Am I on the air?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Kevin, I just wanted to say two things. I think the question that you need to ask people is this. Tuberville's behavior yesterday, Shamari spoke, Katie Britt spoke, and other people have come to speak to the chamber. It's not an event where you do a political roast, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's where you sit out and you talk about the future.
Right.
That was so inappropriate. That's what you call bullying.
Yeah.
That's using a pulpit to bully. and that's not appropriate. City council people were there, a county commissioner was there, and there were business people out there. They need optimism. They need hope.
Yeah.
That's like him being in the locker room telling his football team, well, I don't know if we could win.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. From what I understand, it was the wrong place and the wrong time. Like I said, you if you're going to criticize people, do it in private. Him and the mayor should have sat down and just had a conversation before that. It wasn't appropriate how he did it.
Well, I just wanted to know what the caller thought because I was there and witnessed it, and I thought it was very inappropriate.
Yeah.
So that was my only thought. Okay.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Okay. Talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Matter of fact, let me find that man's office right quick because I'm gonna call. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind this morning because I think what he did yesterday, I don't think that was right. Even though I am gonna vote for the brother because there ain't nobody else on there I want to vote for. I can't go for Feeders, whatever his name is. I like him, good guy, but I can't go for him. Good morning. Can I help you? Well, I guess not. I got to find what. I wonder if he's back in Washington this morning already. I know he had his private jet because when you make all that money, I know he ought to have a jet. Let me see here now. What is the lie that Pruitt told? Exactly, and I heard, and I tried to get Glenn, and he did say that, and again I thought what the mayor did was inappropriate too. And I mean, if you think one of your city council people, because you need them more than they need you, Mr. Mayor. All right, I'll try this one more time. Good morning. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Okay. So I thought what Tuberville did and what Stephen did was no different. They made some inappropriate comments in the public that I thought those are kind of comments you have with somebody in a private setting. If you don't like what I'm doing, both of you guys are in the business of leadership. And you have to remember that when you talk to people. Okay, what's a lie to Pruitt? Yeah, I wanted to know that. Let me see. Where's Glenn at? Let me see here now. Well, he's probably out cutting grass, so he probably can't hear the phone anyway. But that's what happened yesterday. Matter of fact, let me show you what this man is talking about. Yesterday at a meeting. The mayor, for whatever reason, and again, I'm not privy to all the things that went on between the mayor and I meant to play this morning. Yes, Duke.
What's going on, Mr. Elks?
Not much.
I've been kind of busy this morning. I've been listening to you though, but I want to respond to Tuberville. I don't have to see what he said or none of that. Just listen to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
See, they have been emboldened, to do what they want to do or say what they want to say. You got the vice president saying, white folks don't have to apologize for being white anymore and all this old nonsense. You see what I'm saying? So they got him emboldened to say and do what they want to say.
I don't think
people scared of him because they shit in the woods.
But I don't think you have to apologize for being white anymore.
You don't have to come out and say it. Hell, when have they ever apologized for being white?
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh? I mean, why come out and say that? You the vice president. Why in the hell you come out and say some stupid ass crap like that for to start with?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. But Tuberville got him bold. He want to be like Trump. He's so bad because everything come out of his mouth, he relates it to Trump. I'm gonna let the president do this. We're gonna come down here and clean up Montgomery. What you gonna do? Play cowboys in Indian with everybody? Cubs. Come on, buddy, bro.
Well, like I said, Washington, D.C. has its own problems with crime, and they got the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the U.S. Army, Capitol Police.
I mean, what he gonna out try to do everybody else to try to rush and catch these damn bullets before he hit a body? I mean, how can you stop a damn bullet, Kevin? You can't stop them at Wind Lake. You can't stop them at Deer Creek. You can't stop them anywhere. You can't stop it.
Right. Well, you can stop it, but it's too late.
How you gonna stop it, Kevin? You can't stop it.
Wait a minute. If we can change the culture, we don't even have to deal with it. There are places in the world.
All these ifs. Right. See, nobody got answers for anything. Well, you can't stop it. We can't stop it. It's too far gone.
Well, let me ask you, why don't they do all this shooting up in Prattville? Why don't they do all this?
They got it out. They do it. They had some white people on yesterday that did something. What they people doing?
Okay.
The two couple. They kill the kids and the babies and all that all the time. And
so if they do, does that mean we need to do it too?
No, that ain't what you asked me. You asked me. You said other cities don't do it. Then now you ask me now to my other people do it. Could they do it? Nope. The point is, okay. Let's take it back home one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I told you the other day, when you start letting your child, my grandson, I'm gonna say that out of my breath and to my last breath, my grandson, 5 years old right now.
Mm-hmm.
His dad already said my son will never sag. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Mine either.
So right now, I already looked him in the eye and told him. He looked at me crazy. You would never sag around me, son. You never be a thug, long as I'm living, son. So he understands. But when you start letting your child walk around, when they first started back in the 90s, had 2 inches below the belt. You see the underwear just a little bit around the band. They don't want to show the polo bras they wear. So they started wearing 8 inches. Yeah. Then they started driving waffle. All the ass was showing at one, in the early 2000s, all the ass was showing. They had it 8 inches down. Now they got it tied down on the damn hip, Kevin. Okay. On the thigh back there.
I got you. Can't go the whole thing.
Then they got it to the damn kneecap. So if you can't control how your child dress, you can't control shit.
Okay, appreciate that. I talk that way now. This is a family show. Now I got the mayor's thing from yesterday. The mayor did let me stop this right quick. The mayor did something, and I think he sort of insulted one of our city councilmen. But we'll let you can determine that for yourself. Don't have time right now. Got to do something. Got to play a video right quick before I get out of here right now. Because I meant to play this a little while ago. And this is, I guess, was this WSFA? I think this was WSFA. And I think it was about doing this thing this morning. Okay. Can't take it at the moment. Call me back in a minute. Now, so the mayor was doing this thing at a conference yesterday, I guess, and let's see what he had to say. Let me see. I don't know what I've been. Okay, let me see if I can get this thing going now. Oh, there we go, right there. Oh, there we go.
To Montgomery Public State.
Okay, here we go.
Shape for classrooms and for lessons that includes our household as well. So I want to wish all of our students, teachers, administrators, and staff and families a safe and successful return to Montgomery Public Schools. This time of year is always filled with a lot of excitement and opportunity, and we're grateful for the educators and parents who work every day to prepare our young people for that success that we know is so important to all of us. We certainly hope every family has at least one moment this final week where they can sit down, kind of reflect on the summer, and talk about the opportunities that will present themselves this upcoming school year. I also want to remind residents that tomorrow evening is National Night Out. Neighborhoods across Montgomery will come together with our police officers, firefighters, first responders, and community leaders to strengthen relationships that build safer, more connected communities. Public safety is not something government can accomplish by itself. It's something that we have to work in collaboration with so many others. requires that trust, communication, strong neighborhoods, and residents who are willing to work alongside the people who serve them. Now, I want to encourage residents to participate in National Night Out activities taking place throughout the city and certainly in their respective neighborhoods. Meet those police officers who are out in your community each and every day, and those that are continuing to build the partnerships that make Montgomery everything that we want it to be. I certainly want to continue that by saying congratulations to all the winners and finalists recognized this weekend's Small Business Awards ceremony. It was a great ceremony held at the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts because we recognize that the small businesses are the backbone of our economy. They create jobs, invest in our neighborhoods, and help define what makes Montgomery unique. So we appreciate every entrepreneur who has chosen to build their future here and continue to grow their business right in our city. And tomorrow evening, the City Council will consider Montgomery's future direction as it relates to Montgomery's Momentum 2040 bond proposal. I believe this vote represents one of the most significant opportunities our city has had in decades to make strategic investments and strengthen our city's long-term growth. Momentum 2040 is about strengthening neighborhoods, expanding economic opportunity, improving city facilities, investing in housing infrastructure, and creating the kinds of community assets that position Montgomery to compete for the next generation of jobs, visitors, and investment. As we've said throughout this process, public safety remains our top priority. Public safety is not only a health issue, it's also a wealth issue. And that's reflected every year in our operating budget, where we continue making substantial investments in our first responders, Montgomery Police Department, Montgomery Fire and Rescue, emergency response, technology, equipment, and personnel. Those investments continue regardless of the vote on tomorrow. And should the bond move forward, we'll ask the City Council to continue to consider opportunities during future appropriations and project decisions to prioritize investments that enhance public safety, including police, fire, EMA, as well as other infrastructure that leads to safer neighborhoods and better communities. We want to encourage residents to learn more before tomorrow's meeting by visiting Momentum2040.com, where they can review project information, frequently asked questions, and additional details about the proposal. Another important initiative begins this month as the City and Municipal Court launch a public awareness campaign regarding outstanding municipal court fines and fees. We encourage anyone who believes that they may have unresolved municipal court obligations, including traffic citations, parking citations, or other qualifying cases, to reach out to municipal court staff. Residents can visit montgomeryal.gov/fines to learn how to check whether or not they have an outstanding balance and to ask questions and receive assistance on any issues they may have with our municipal court. This campaign is about encouraging voluntary compliance before municipal court expands collection efforts in accordance with applicable law and court procedures. Depending on the type of case, those enforcement actions may include failure to appear warrants, referral to collections, tax refund intercepts, as well as vehicle booting, vehicle impoundment for qualifying parking violations, or legally authorized enforcement mechanisms. For us, this isn't about generating revenue. It's about accountability, fairness, and ensuring that municipal court judgments are enforced consistently. Our police department works every day to improve traffic safety and reduce dangerous driving. And so when citations are issued through the legal process, it's important that those obligations are addressed. If you think you may have an outstanding municipal court fine or fee, please do not wait. Visit pay.montgomeryal.gov. That's pay.montgomeryal.gov today. Review your record and take the necessary steps to resolve any outstanding obligations. And as always, we're committed to keeping residents informed about these and other initiatives as we continue moving Montgomery forward. With that said, I'd be happy to take any questions that you may have at this time on any topic that may be out there. Yes.
Hello, Mayor. Jessica Knotts with WSFA 12 News. On yesterday, you made a TikTok post about stallions maybe coming to Montgomery. Is Montgomery ready for that? And is this something that can really come into reality, or was it just a conversation?
No, for us, I think we're ready for many more things than we have right now. That's why we have this Momentum 2040 bond proposal before the council at this time. We have to be really focused on growing our city, growing the jobs here, growing our population, and certainly growing our economy. And I think based on what the UFL mentioned, basically being the stadium size, Montgomery's a perfect fit. I think Crampton Bowl is ideal. We already have some plans on the drawing board right now to renovate Crampton Bowl, and certainly that could be altered in maybe a second phase to address any of the specifics that a professional football league would have. You know, we're a football town. We're a football state. So for us, I think that anytime you say football, whether it's soccer or whether it's American-style football, there's going to be a desire and I think a strong, passionate fan base. And my approach to that was really looking at it from the standpoint of having a statewide team, one that sits right in the heart of Alabama, where people from all around can come and support a professional team that bears the name of the state of Alabama. And I think that presents a great opportunity for us, knowing the passion, knowing the type of support we give high school football in this area in the fall, that we give our colleges in the fall. The weather is great. In the spring, it's not near as hot. And I think that for the venue that we have and the type of growth that we're seeing as a city, this will be right in line with what we want to be. And that is to make sure that there are things that attract people to Montgomery, the things that keep people in Montgomery, bringing their tax dollars here as opposed to letting them go other places. And I think for us, it puts us in a different conversation as a mid-sized city to be able to see what we can do as a region in terms of supporting professional sports, and also what we can offer, because professional sports is really, a big part of our country. It really is something that brings people together from cities all throughout our nation, and it's something that brings greater opportunity and greater economic development for those cities that have them. And we think Montgomery is primed for that opportunity right now. Well, I think as it relates to UFL, we reached out to them, and we look forward to a conversation that we're going to have this week. And we want to hear about what they're looking for in the market, maybe what they didn't see in Birmingham, and what we think we provide right here in Montgomery and Central Alabama. And I think for us, sometimes you can have a lot of things going on that may pull at the incomes, that may pull at the attention of those in a particular market. I think spring football, professional football would be great. And I know the type of atmosphere and the type of fan support is here, because I see it, on Friday nights here in the River region, and we see it on Saturdays as well. So that's my thought on the UFL, and I'm looking forward to the conversation. I'm looking forward to talking about the assets that Montgomery has relative to some of the other cities that are also being considered, and those that are in the league right now. As it relates to the Envision 2040, anything is possible. I think for us, we have talked ad nauseum about this. We've gone through the finances of it. I think that those on the council who want to see Montgomery move forward will be supportive. I think those in the community who want to see this city move forward will be in support of this. Should call their council member to ask them to support it. And quite honestly, you always hear that the negative Nancy's and the Debbie Downers, they're usually a lot louder, whether it's anything related to growth and progress, because most people are, uncomfortable with the unknown. And for us as a city, in particular leadership, we're elected to lead. We're elected to take all the information in, and we're elected to base our decision on that information. The finances are very clear. That has been very straightforward from day one, but to those that it wasn't, we've been able to show that. We met with business leaders, we met with faith leaders, we met with other officials throughout the community to really explain this over the last month. This is really about, do we grow as a city and as a community, or do we maintain the status quo? I think it has to be one that is about future forward visioning and action, and not just staying put. When you look at our peer cities in the state of Alabama, they're all making significant investments in their downtown and throughout their city, each and every one of them. Birmingham, Mobile, and Huntsville. Montgomery cannot afford to be left behind and then think that we're going to still, take and keep the same amount of great teachers, great principals, great military veterans, great small business owners, great entrepreneurs, great architects, engineers, doctors. We're in a competition for talent, recruitment, and retention. Every city is. And those cities that look to the future are those cities that bet on themselves. Those cities that, look in the past are those cities that fall further and further behind. I was told a long time ago playing sports that you can't run as fast when you're looking behind you. You got to run straight ahead and keep your eyes forward. Well, that's the same as a city. We can't keep up doing the things that maybe some wish we'd have done 10, 20 years ago. I wasn't on the city council at that time when they had those opportunities. I wasn't in the mayor's office when they had those opportunities. This is about right now and moving forward as a city. And I think those who want to see Montgomery move forward have to make sure their voices are heard with those council members who are either on the fence or have stated they're going to vote no. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think that part is disappointing to see our council pro tem put out false information about public safety from the amount of employees which we have, which is.
Now that's the part I wanted to see. I should have just got that part, but now he said that council pro tem
disappointing to see
is putting out false information. And everybody know who the council? I know who the council pro tem is. Do you know who it is? Let's finish this up, and then we'll call it a day after a brief amount of conversation.
This is about right now and moving forward as a city. And I think those who want to see Montgomery move forward have to make sure their voices are heard with those council members who are either on the fence or have stated they're going to vote no. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think that part is disappointing to see our council pro tem put out false information about public safety from the amount of employees which we have, which is false. And I would say very dangerous to our men and women in the Montgomery Police Department to make false statements about where the budget and where the money is being invested and what it costs. That's troubling. If you're against moving forward, just say you're against moving forward. I don't have an issue with that. That's between you and those residents that voted for you. It wasn't an issue when it came down to opening a community center in his district. So I see that as a problem now that it's an issue. But don't put out as a city council pro tem false information that you know is factually incorrect, and stand with any level of credibility before us, whether it's the police chief and his team, or director of emergency operations, or anybody else in this city, as if you have the right information. You got a political agenda, then just say you got a political agenda against the bond issue. And that's fine. That's between Councilman Pruitt and his district and his voters. But to put out misinformation as if it's true, pitting public safety as if it's not a part of this bond issue is an outright lie. And it's an outright lie, and he knows it's a lie because it's been in there. We've talked about it for the last 2 years. And so if I have an issue, it's with people putting out lies like that. I'd just rather you say, hey, I'm against it for this reason or that reason. My conscience doesn't feel right. Don't make things up to justify your position. But as it relates to tomorrow, we'll see where the council decides to go with it. They've got all the information. They've had plenty of information. They've gotten it third or fourth time from that perspective. And those that want to see this city and this region move forward, I believe will be for this bond proposal. Those that don't, those are stuck in the past. Those that want to keep Montgomery in the past won't. And that's how I view it. There's no other way to it. The numbers are what they are. And those council members who want to question the numbers as if they have any better information than what we presented is not being very truthful and transparent to the members of their districts, much less to the city writ large. So we'll see where the vote goes tomorrow, and we'll deal with it and go accordingly from there. All right.
Well. Okay. Appreciate you, Mayor. Appreciate you. Anyway, so you saw the little brief in its entirety. I don't want to stop it. But to call one of our city councilmen a liar, that's kind of tough. But we will. I'll take one more call here. We will take. Okay. What's up?
That's a lot of bright ideas, ain't it?
Well, a lot of ideas, but the only thing I knew he had called. I knew he had called Pruitt a liar, but I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know he just came out and said it. But I'll see if I get Pruitt on tomorrow for a couple minutes. But now today is the day they're gonna, I guess, try again for the $375 million $375 million bond issue. So we'll see how that all works. But
who is going to end up whooping the mayor's ass and Q-Dogs can't help him? All them barking ass, hopping ass motherfuckers.
Hey, what kind of language is that, bro? Okay, then. Come on, yeah. I mean, I realize it ain't radio, but we got more intelligent. Can't we use regular language? Misleading information on your administration, every public address. Very interesting, the claim of false info. Well, guys, I got to go, but I wanted to hear that. I want to hear that because it was in. I'll play this later on around 3:00 today. You'll have a chance again to hear it. But we'll see how the vote goes today. And we'll see how things go. I'm not on city council, so I have no vote. Again, I do believe we do need a civic center. How we get it, well, therein lies the question. And how much debt we want to go into to get it, that's another question. But I do believe we need. The mayor's not wrong when he says we do need a civic center. We are a city capital, the state capital, excuse me. And people might want to come here and do might want to come here and do conventions and things of that nature. But we'll see. We shall see. Anyway, I thank you guys for joining us today. As most of you do most days. Don't forget to tell somebody about the show. Share it. Whatever. I never forget to tell people to do that. Do what you got to do, and feel free to give us a call. Send me and I do have an email address, and I keep forgetting to put it up there, but I'm going to put it there for now because I got to go check it. As a matter of fact, I haven't checked it in a while. But you got my text number on the screen most of the time. You can just text me. You can just text me. That'll get you. Yeah, where's my text number? It's up here someplace. It's in the section where you write your comments and stuff like that. I always put it there for some reason. I don't know why, because some of y'all will be texting me crazy things, but that's okay. I'm a servant of the people. Even doing this job, I'm a servant of the people. Okay. And don't forget our sponsor, Montgomery Computer Services, located at 5141 Atlanta Highway, 277-6902. If you have a computer problem and you need somebody to take care of it, that is these guys right here. They can do anything. If you got networking problems, you can go to them and they'll work your network problem out. Let's say you need to transfer data from one computer to another and try to get it to work. They can handle that also. Okay. Old computers won't be. Old computers are not going to work real soon with Windows 11 and things of that nature. So you might just want to think about getting your getting your computer upgraded, updated, or just replaced. Okay, handle that. Take care of it. Montgomery Computer Services, 277-6902, 5141 Atlanta Highway, right next to HealthWise Food. Okay, and don't forget our main sponsor, been with me from almost day one, and of course that is my good friends at everybody knows it by now, right? Okay, One Stop Wireless. And you can pay bills up there too, like your light bill, your water bill, and stuff like that. Okay, it's a mobile phone store, but they also sell other things too. Cell phones. They got Googles. They got Apple. They have Samsung. But here's a nice thing they do. They can actually take your telephone, the one you got laying around the house, it's been laying there for a while because you stuck it to somebody. They can put that phone on their system and you be up and phone. So therefore, you don't really have to go out and buy another telephone. If you got one in the house already, chances are there's a 95% chance they can take whatever phone you have and put it on their system and you'll be okay. Okay, they can take it. So give them a call. 334-320-2988. 334-320-2988. All right. I gotta go. Go. All right then. So, what is the lesson of life today? Well, hold it. Where's it? I don't know what the lesson of life today is. I don't know what the lesson of life today is. I forgot. I think it is. There will come a time in your life where you'll have to stand up, and you'll have to stand by yourself. And if it hasn't happened yet, live long enough and it will. Okay. Just remember that there will come a time, if you really believe in something, you'll have to stand and stand alone. And just remember, there are consequences for being resolute in your positions. But don't be a wuss. Don't be a wuss. Okay. As long as you can sleep good at night because you know you did the right thing, you're doing okay. And sometimes the truth won't make a difference until later because people don't care about the truth very much anymore. But anyway, I got to go. Time's up. I'm way over. And I'm 20 minutes over. I don't stay longer than that. But I thought the mayor's thing was interesting. So let me go. I wrote this song, me and AI. We did it. We did a good job on this. As a matter of fact. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. And remember, it is not the falling down that gives us the strength. Oh, no. It's getting up each and every time we do. You can fall down, just don't stay down. Okay? Nobody likes a quitter. We'll be back.